Welcome back into the Motor Index, folks. Today we're discussing Shane Van Gisbergen winning at Mexico City this past weekend. Gets himself into the playoffs. It is a huge, huge victory for Trackhouse Racing and SVG. He's brought into Trackhouse to do specifically this, win at road courses, get them in the playoffs. Helps to grow the team overall with the extra money being in the playoffs, finishing automatically in the top 16 in points. Huge all around. Obviously, it's going to be controversial for its own reasons, with SVG not necessarily being one of the top dogs points wise, but this is the system. He's playing within the system. Can't fault him for it. So, but no, I mean SVG completely dominant in Mexico City this past weekend, leading 60 laps in the race. Very impressive stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say to people who are going to find this controversial. It's like the Joey Logano argument, right? But I mean, I think the Joey Logano arguments are a little stupid. I do think they have some more credence here, but still, even then, there was four. I mean, going into Mexico City, it was that plus three more road courses, I believe, before the playoffs. So the odds of SVG winning a race was going to be pretty high. I mean, all things considered. So I think we'd only been to one road course already, or prior to this season, which was Coda, when Bell won and SVG was, I believe, not really in the mix. So gets the job done here. I think SVG's got a chance to add a couple more wins, like I said, before the playoffs with the road courses and whatnot. But yeah, a lot of people are going to be talking about after this race and have been throughout this week about, should they go back to Mexico City? Everybody's getting their grift in, whether it's, bashing on Mexico City or, getting your what's the word I'm trying to get, virtue. Everybody's got to get their virtue signaling to how amazing it was. Look, I thought the racing was good for the first two stages. I thought it was, fairly competitive, and I thought the racing in the mid pack was fairly good, all things considered, for the most part. But in that third stage, I don't know. It was so obvious that how this was going to play out. And I mean, once the final pit cycle went through, and I think it was Bell and Elliott were fighting for second and third or whatever, and it was like, okay, they're 7 seconds behind. Can either of them catch him? And next thing you know, a few minutes later, SVG's got a 14 or 15-second lead on the field, and I mean, it was over. So he could do whatever he wanted, just coast home, and he did. So I don't know. I mean, I thought the track was all right. I really liked the parts like the straightaways. I really liked the stadium section. I just wonder, is there something that we're able to do to maybe like Coda where they shortened it? I don't know if there's a way to do that at Mexico City. Maybe if that's a possibility, that could be something that I'd be interested to know about, because I think, don't get me wrong, I thought the racing was all right for the most part, but that last stage when he just completely blew everybody out of the water, I don't know. I was a little bored, just a little. So I don't think this race was awful by any means, but I also don't think this race was incredible. And for the difficulties of like the logistical difficulties, I don't know. It's not my decision to make. I like the idea of racing in Mexico City, and I would like to see them take this even further globally. I don't know. I don't know if there's more racetracks in Mexico maybe that they could try. Maybe closer to the border potentially. I don't know. I'm interested to know what other options they've got, but I thought it was fine. I would be interested in seeing it again. I just don't know. We'll have to see how it pans out with the logistics and whatnot. But yeah, I overall enjoyed it. I have not a ton of complaints, but certainly more than the virtue signalers who are just completely loving every aspect of it just because of the Mexico aspect. But no, I enjoyed it. So let's get into the top finishers. So obviously SVG wins the race, also gets a stage win in stage two, where I thought potentially Ryan Blaney, or no, that was not, that was in the no, because that was end of the stage. He stayed out, and I think it was Bell and some of the contenders behind him pitted at the end of the stage there in stage 2, and I actually thought SVG was going to get on the wrong end of the strategy, but I think he just kind of proved how good he was, how good that car was. Tires weren't really a big factor here. I think that was more so because of the rain, which that was actually a cool aspect of this race, was starting in the rain and then going into the dry. I think that honestly kind of helped some of the racing, which is part of my point of I don't think the racing was as good as people thought it was because when the track dried, it was pretty much a blowout. So I don't know. So SVG wins a race and wins a stage. Christopher Bell, like I said, kind of after that last pit cycle was maybe looking to maybe make a charge, couldn't do it, whatever. Um, yeah, another good road course performance from him though after winning at Coda. Same with Elliott, Chase Elliott in third. Um, it's about what I expect. I don't know what to tell you Elliott fans out there, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, I didn't think he really had race winning speed, honestly. I don't know. I mean, I feel like this is kind of where he belonged on the finishing chart. Alex Bowman. Alex Bowman looked kind of fast, honestly. Especially after the crazy hit he took at Michigan, getting back in the car, probably not 100%, but it was an impressive run for sure from Alex Bowman. I actually have him as a potential winner this coming week. We'll see about that, but he's sneakily a road course specialist, that Alex Bowman. Really good at the road courses, more so than people give him credit for. So he'd be one to look out for in the coming weeks as well, with the road courses coming up. Michael McDowell, fifth. I said Michael McDowell could be a contender in this race. Sure enough, he was. Not surprised to see him up there. John Hunter Nemechek, another top 10, really good for him. I'd have to go back and look and see how his season's shaping up, but John Hunter Nemechek is quietly having a very solid step up of a season from what it's a nice next step for legacy, that if I'm putting that clearly. So yeah, Chase Briscoe, after I believe it was his third. Oh wait, no, SVG won the pole. I think he won like 3 consecutive poles coming into Mexico City. Yeah, top 10. All right, not really, not mad about it, not surprised about it. It's about where I thought he would. Now, who I am surprised is Cole Custer finishing 8th. That was a pretty big shock, and I kind of feel like that may have had to do with the rain, maybe a little bit, but I don't know. I'm really surprised to see Cole Custer up there in the top 10. Not necessarily Cole Custer, because I do believe in Cole Custer, the driver. It's more so the team has had no speed all season, just pops into the top 10 out of nowhere. It's interesting. I don't know what happened there. So William Byron, 9th, not shocking. Just another top 10 for William Byron. He gets top 10s in his sleep. Chris Buescher. I thought Chris Buescher was somebody to potentially watch coming into Mexico City. Yeah, I mean, top 10. I expect him to be at least in the top 10 at road courses. So got the job done there. And I'm going to go a little further than the top 10. Ty Gibbs in 11th, led 27 laps. Very solid day for him. Still think that win's going to have to come, though he's been running fairly better as of late. I'm not going to say he's been running good, but certainly an improvement, noticeably improved. So I think they've found something in the right direction for the 54 car. We'll see if that continues. Ryan Blaney, 39 stage points, second in the first stage. I thought he had a chance to win the first stage, which would have been huge because he's not really one of these guys you think about at the road courses, though he was running in the top 10 in that final stage. Not with a chance to win necessarily, but he was contending potentially for a top 5 there for parts of that day. Ends up 14th, but 39 points. I mean, at a road course, one of the highest point tallies of anybody throughout the day. That's what you do if you're, a Penske driver, Ryan Blaney. At these road courses, you show up knowing you're not going to win, but you max out your points. That's big for him. And then Ryan Preece, another guy, also did this at Coda, won the first stage by staying out. He was one who beat Ryan Blaney to the line there. I mean, we've been talking about Priest all year. Probably the surprise of the Cup Series season, I would say, as far as just pure speed goes. Gets another stage win at a road course. This is just like Blaney. This is what you got to do if you're this team on the bubble, having a great year, but maximizing when you can. I love what I'm seeing from that Priest team. I think they're going to get in the playoffs one way or another. Maybe get a win. I would really not be shocked if they got a win. I think, I don't know. It's hard. You don't want to predict it because he's never won a cup race, but the speed is too hard to ignore. So, with that being said, that's all we've got today. So thank you all so much for watching. Please like and subscribe and go watch my Pocono preview, which should be up shortly. Thank y'all. God bless.